Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's cheesecake time. So I've recently been how do I do this, guys? How do I talk about this very strange thing? This is going to be a two-part series. I'm going to do a reaction video on this because I did not know that this was a thing, and I had to let it sink in before I did some content on it. So let's just get into it. Decentering men. If you're looking at the thumbnail, you already know that this is something that we are currently on trend with, and I can't relate. Right? Let's just start with I can't relate. So you already know I'm going to come in with the bias. I watched some videos about this this phenomenon that women are quickly getting on track with. So I'm going to talk about this in the context of situationships because I find that it is a revolving door of things that women tend to do to themselves that continuously contributes to their demise, our demise. And it has to do with the ability to have accountability. Right? It's an easy thing. Easy. Just say I did this to me. I will not do this to me again. I need to figure out what I need to do different so that I can get different results. No, it is always the man's fault. And it's because I've spent my entire life and time trying to get in a relationship and find love that I have let so much time go past and I have been hurt. So I'm not gonna say that that's the whole nooks and cranny of it. I could look it up, and try to see if I could give it one let me see if I can do. So so here we have a list of things that it's gone now. So here we have a list of things that women need to do in order to face yourself without distraction of man or romantic relationships. Why not now? Here are 5 tips to help you focus on yourself and decenter men. Number 1, decide that your teen years and your 20s belong to you. Don't actively look for a man just yet. Do you know who you are? Most women don't even know who they are or what they want because they are still growing. According to the research of the prefrontal cortex of the brain develops between ages 18 and 30. Now, as a neurological student, I'm just going to skip all of that because I already know where that's going to head. And I just want to clap back and say that while you have your brain still developing up until the age of 25, what you learn in those years, first of all, the learning curve slows down after 5, I think. I think it's 5 is when you're learning. 7. 7 is the peak. And then everything else is pretty much habitual ways of being that you've adopted from your environment. Now, there's a lot of skepticism and debate going on about how much plasticity one can acquire within the different ages and times in your life. But I do want to say that we should not put too much weight on you're not mature enough to be able to have a lasting, healthy relationship. However, there's another part of this variable that is not being spoken about enough, and that variable is learning capacity and neural pathways. So ways of being and habits and things that we acquire throughout our lives end up shaping and molding our perspectives about different ways of being. And if we develop a way of being single or decentering men, then that will become our perpetual experience in the future. We will then learn independence and autonomy over community, relationships, and family. Follow your dreams and celebrate your wins. Shouldn't you be doing that anyways, all the time, no matter what's going on? And isn't a person, your partner, supposed to be helping you in the celebration? I mean, a celebration is something that I always feel is best done in numbers. So, I mean, yeah, go ahead, do that. But it doesn't mean that you have to choose between having a partner and being able to celebrate yourself. I think that was part of the point, is that you have people who are also celebrating you. Yeah, so stick it to the male gaze. Learn how to be comfortable with being ugly. Pretty privilege is a social concept. Oh my God. Pretty privilege is a social concept that's stipulates that more attractive people who have more friends, money, and success than their less attractive counterparts. Yeah. Hey, guys, life is unfair. All right? Some people are hot and some people are not. But that doesn't mean that you are going to be single for the rest of your life. It means that you have to be realistic about what you can and cannot get in the dating market. And I think that men are better at this than women are. Women are a little bit deluded when it comes to what it is they will or will not accept in terms of looks. But men are like, maybe, yeah, she got a big forehead, but, she's a nice girl. I'm not gonna, like, not like her because her forehead is too big, or, she snorts when she laughs. I mean, men are not that picky. I think women are starting to get a little bit cuckoo when it comes to the levels and standards that they have, and have not actually we have internalized ugliness and averageness. Like, we all have to be special snowflakes. You're a special snowflake, but you are not going to always get special snowflake treatment. Working on your internal self is what makes you look more attractive to the opposite sex, as we have learned in my last video that I reviewed. Please go check it out. Beauty dysphoria and mortality rates of BBL produces are on the rise. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Men don't like that shit. Women do these surgeries for each other to compete. Look at my weave. Look at my lips. Look at my cheeks. Look at the work that women get done on their bodies. Fellas, please tell me in the comment section down below. The eyelashes, the fingernails, the stuff, the over the top stuff that we do to our body outside of shaving, brushing your teeth, and taking your shower, and combing your hair, and maybe putting on deodorant. Even perfume, arguably, is something that we do for ourselves and for each other. Men don't really give a crap about those extra added things. They like natural beauty. Fellas, help me out here. Tell me what you think. Tell them how it really is. Lay off the romance music. I have never been a real fan of romantic music, so I can understand why that is sort of like a thing. Read more books and movies. So you can't watch a movie or read books if you're triggered. Totally triggered. All right, let's get through this. Be okay with being single forever. Bye, dog, die alone. Get some cats. No comment on that one, okay? Be okay with being single alone. Who hurt you? What's wrong with you? Why would you be okay with that? You still expect to live in society, participate, and do things. Like, why would you want to be alone? It's not natural. Now, given that there are some people who are actually introverted and like their alone time and like their me time, like their space, that is a very small percentage of people. Now, as a woman who has had to learn how to be by herself and enjoy her own company, I will say this. It was a liberating feeling to not have to be physically driven by the motivations of not wanting to have to be alone to face whatever was going on in my mind at the time. But that is completely different from being intentionally single just for the sake of not wanting to have to learn how to have better relationships, which is what I think this is threading very thinly on in trying to share with people. Realize that men are human. They eat, they shit, they sleep. Okay, yeah, they cheat, they lie, they steal. So do you. He will never live up to your expectations. Wow, talk about approaching the dating market with the best intentions and the best, with your best foot forward. And I keep forgetting what does that mean. You've enjoyed this article. Leave a few claps. No, I will not be leaving claps, because when I see hashtags like feminism, women, relationships, relationship, love, and dating, this does not actually resonate with me as something as good advice for women. And so I can leave it in the description box down below. But I wanted to talk about this from the perspective of most of these women. I will argue 85%, including some of the women who come up on my channel and try to like yell at me with their fingers about not needing a man, wanting a man. When I watch the video, I think I'm going to do a reaction video on the videos that I've watched about decentering men. When I watch the video, I hear a lot of sad, lonely men who have not yet come to terms with the fact that they pick poorly. Now, the reason I think I attest to my marriage being successful so far, and I say in quotation marks because we have had a lot of struggles because marriages are under attack, and we will discuss that in another video and at another time. And that meant that we have had to learn how to cooperate with each other within the confines of modern society and modern ways of thinking that we came into the relationship with. Now, having learned that that was my situation in my situationship, I have had to shed a lot of ways of being and come very clear with the fact that I do not want to be alone. So I had to learn how to share my space, time, and ways of being with another person. The second thing that I had to learn was how to keep it simple and be grateful and thankful for the relationship that I do have. Because marriage and relationships is work, and it's work that you put in with a partner that wants to work with you. It is something that you do every day. And the breakdown of relationships, like I talked about in my divorce video, is based on the things that you expect without actually letting your partner know about or actually talking about and delivering in the context of what it means to have a healthy relationship. The simple things is what it means to have a good relationship. And that means that you're going to have to let go of ways of being that does not suit the new situation. A lot of women are not going to admit that they're lonely. They have come to terms with being alone. But that is not the same as wanting to be alone. And it's counterproductive to say that you want to be in a relationship, or you would be happy to be in a relationship, but not wanting to make men the priority and understanding what they want and need so that you can be in a relationship. And the other thing is that they have a little diagram here where men is at the center on one side, and then on the other side is family, career. Let me just tell you something, guys, because I had a very fancy career. Family, career, goals, fitness, friends. And then men is like small. Let me tell you something about these these 4 categories here. Is it 4 or 5? 5 categories. Your career. If you are not your husband's secretary, your career will at some point, because there's a career and there's a job. If you are having a career, it will at some point get in the way of your relationship. That's just the way it is. And because, like I don't expect people to understand. I don't expect anyone to do what I did. As a matter of fact, you do what makes you happy or what you think makes you happy. But I realized that I wanted to be there for my children and my family. I wanted to be the bedrock and the wife that was there to support her family. Because I did not see that growing up. It was something that was lacking. And it wasn't I realized that I had to choose. I cannot have it all. And women modern women cannot, they cannot accept and sit with that reality, is that you're going to have to get things in increments. Because what's at stake, especially if you have children, is your entire relationship falling apart. Now, I've talked to married women whose men have left, cheated, abused, ran off with the secretary, all those things. I've talked to women about that, and the common trend that I hear is that while he did a really crappy thing, I definitely see how I contributed to the breakdown of my relationship. I still blame him, because he should have been like me and been stoic. So there's a tendency to want to compare men and try to say that we're the same, but we're just not. And if we understand our men better, we will find ourselves not trying to put all of these things in front of your relationship. So like I said, my husband wanted to study psychology. I was interested in neurology. That was a perfect match. I tried to make myself more interested in the things that he has liked, that he likes, and he has, in return, showed me that he is interested in the things that I like, even if he might not necessarily be interested in those things. Because why? He wants to show me that he loves me. Family. Bitch, you ain't got no... Why is family on another side of the circle? I'm going to have to do a reaction video because this is ridiculous. Fitness. Yes, fitness is important. Fitness should always be important. As though, would I stop being fit if I have a man? I think that's even more reason to be fit, isn't it? Friends. It really depends. Like the friend thing, I don't know. I have friends now. I have more friends now than I did when I was, focusing on getting a man. What is that? It's a piece of hay. But the friends that I have now are married women who understand my situation. And I was just talking to my daughter about this, because if your friends are not in alignment with the things that you have planned for your future, you will find yourself at constant odds and having to decide and choose between what your relation with the direction in which you're going in and the direction in which your relationship your relationship with your partner is going in. And so this is a really big issue for women to understand, because we use our friends as a fail-safe in order to catch us when our relationships are not going okay. But what I've learned from other couples is that that is the worst decision to make. Unless your friends are going to encourage you to work things out, these friends are usually the ones who are breaking or contributing to the breakdown of your relationship. So I'm very, very clear on that. I wasn't always clear on that. And I'm glad that I learned that early, because that's a part of the maturity process, is that, no, I have a husband. I can't just, go out and not come home and spend the night at my friend's house. My family would lose their mind. And I never do things like that. I never go out alone. And I used to do that a lot, but I haven't done that in a while. I think maybe I only did that once or twice since I've been married. Because I fill my time with other things while my husband's at work, and when my daughter is at her trainings, I take up hobbies. But I do realize that my time is very, very limited. My personal private time is very, very limited, because I have decided to dedicate my time to my family, not because I expect anything in return, but because of what is at stake when I don't. I understand the importance of my role in my relationship, and I don't depend on the people around me to say, thank you, I appreciate what you're doing, because I know that it's just my job to do, and that I have to do it otherwise. If I don't, then things fall apart. No one needs to thank me. It's really great when people do, and the thankfulness, me understanding and being really happy and confident and feeling like I am making a difference, or that I matter to my family, comes solely from the idea that I have in my mind of how proud I am to be able to do what I do without having to worry about doing my husband's job too. And I think that shows up in the way we interact with each other, is that I'm super appreciative that I don't have to go to no job and drop off nobody at no kindergarten, daycare, none of that. I can be here to pick people up from home. Are you bored? You tired? Yeah, you're tired.
I'm hungry.
She hungry. I just asked you if you're hungry. So I don't have to do, then I can go make supper. She's like, well, Mom, you're not doing your job right now because I'm starving. And you're on YouTube. Yeah, she's such a great mom, right? Yes, but, I'm proud of what I do, because this is how I envision my life would be the most productive in my current situation. And a lot of the times when women feel like they're unfulfilled in their roles as wives is because they were expecting to get some kind of great reward outside of the fact that the thing is just done. And that doesn't really work out well for people who do it for the expectation, but it works out better for those of us who are just proud to do our job, because we like to do things properly, correctly, and that's enough. I am enough. I don't need to be thanked for this job. And interestingly enough, when I don't do this job like just now, I'm starving. When I don't cook, the once in a while that I might say, you know what, let's have breakfast at the cafe, or let me just go pick up a bagel, and or let me just not make lunch. Or I'm sorry, oh, but I and then right? They're like, you ain't cooked nothing today. Why? And I'm like, okay, I'll cook something. Just Monday's food is the best. And my husband loves that. There's just the idea of him saying, my wife. When he says that, he says it with such pride and joy, and that's enough. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I don't know what I'm gonna call this video, because it's very, very much about decentering men, yes. And I think that that has an idea that women need to start to take care of themselves when they get into a relationship and not be all consumed by the relationship. But that comes with a level of responsibility and confidence and resolution that you have within yourself to approach relationships with due confidence and trust, and to make sure that you are taking responsibility for the breakdowns and setting boundaries that help you to understand that when you don't do that, people do take advantage of you. But good people don't do things like that, because good people know how to treat each other. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Please leave your comments down below, and I'll see you later. Please stay safe and stay free. Let me go feed this child before she come and start biting my leg or something. Bye.